Hi, how are you? This is me, Omega. Oh, I gotta, well, let me turn this down real quick. Okay, so, we're talking about hump day, and we made it 2 more days, and we got the weekend. No humping for me. I have not been with anyone. Just, yeah. Oh, well, I do have 2 guys in my life, but you know, it's my beautiful Bobby and Dr. Bombay. I call him Dr. Bombay. He's my little doctor. So let me get the social medias here. I had a late start and I can't find my vape thing, so there we go. All charged. Okay, let's see here. All right. Oh. Let's see. All right, I gotta go on mute and wow, I'm 25 subscribers from 500, so yeah. We'll have to do something special for the 500 peeps. So okay, good. All right. All right. Or I can chat with myself. Or I can chat with myself. Okay. Oh, hi, John. Oh, it's so good to see you. I just got up. I'm trying to share my social media. I got started a little late, and oh, hi, John. Oh, I'm on my. Oh, it's so good to see you. There you go. There we go. All right, I got all my stuff done and I am ready to throw some music on. Wow. We need to make a special prayer I have I have a work colleague that is going through some her own, I guess you would say, personal problems that she has, and I want to make a prayer for her. So I'm going to do that right now before I even brush my hair. God, my friend really needs help. She needs to find herself. She's lost. So please help her. Amen. Yeah, she's it's not like, uh, I was told, hey, she was warned. So yeah. Amen. Yeah, I love her, but she gotta learn. And I want to see my mouse? Here's my little mouse. Hello, mouse. Squeak, squeak. It would be cool if they actually buy a mouse that looks like a mouse, a little mouse. Then my cats would want to play with it. Never mind. No, it's already a bad idea. Unthink it. Yeah, so I really felt bad for her, and we're my colleagues and I were talking about it, and I was, getting upset, and I said, I know I can't do nothing, but I still feel bad that, um, things have come to, her own doing. So yeah, I was like, I know. So yeah, they've started Saturday work, and I haven't gone there because I didn't know we can work on Saturday. So I've been really looking forward to my weekends, and I'm being told that, you can work, Saturday, and I didn't work Saturday, and this is when the problem happened on Saturday, and I was like, oh, okay. That's why I know nothing about it. Fill me in. Because I'm asking everybody when I come in Monday how their weekend was. Was your weekend good? Was it good? Was it not good? I wanted to know. And yeah, it was a learning experience, I guess, for her. Yeah. And anyway, I've been upset about it and talked about it, and I'm done. So today is Wednesday, hump day, and let's talk about, there's people, they are saying that the Bible is coming to pass. Okay, I know, I'm just saying what the internet is about people disappearing, and they're not going to disappear the way you think. And I'm like, what is it going to be like aliens coming down? Zero, zero, zero. No, what it was explained to me is that they won't disappear like you're sleeping with them and you wake up and they're gone. I was told that, on the internet. I was told on the internet, and it made me think. It was a good exercise to think before you go to sleep. Someone's, you know, um, disappeared, and you're the only one that remembers them. You know what I mean? I was thinking, like, you're the only one that remembers them, and you think, God, no one remembers this person. I mentioned their name, and they're like, who's that? And I'm like, wow. They're explaining that people slowly disappeared if they're not on their spiritual path, that they went away from their spiritual path. When I got married real young, and a lot of people have, I did not grow in my relationship or as a human being where I can go and deal with certain things like stress and 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 having to pull a dollar and work hard was not hard for me. But the whole point is I wasn't going in what I came down here to, I guess they call it where you perfect your soul. Coming down here is like a big, you gain a lot of knowledge, is what my dad and I had talked about. And when you derive from your spiritual path, the path that you thought of up in heaven, you're up in heaven, you go, I want a slice of crap, and I want, this type of parents, I want this type of situation, I want this type of life. This is what you're figuring out in heaven. And then you come down here and you get hit with, wow. And it's not that we don't know about our spiritual path, but we know that we have something to what my dad say we call God, our creator, to experience and to evolve from our creator. And my dad said, when you derive from your spiritual path, you begin to, your soul feels like it's dying. God darn it. The dot. Well, anyway, ding, John went to bed. I see him gone. So anyway, when you go away from that, it's not that your soul dies, it's just your soul doesn't learn. And I know how that is. That's why I really wanted to, I guess, I hate to use the word divorce. And I felt a lot different since then. I meditate a whole lot lately. I've just been on a meditated express on that. I got my crystals from the site. I couldn't afford much, so I got, like, I'm wearing them. Yeah, in the beads. So anyway, what I have, a lot of people feel that they have not grown as an adult because a lot of reasons is you're not also growing as a spirit. You're holding on to old things, and a lot of stuff is to move on. So it took me a long time to realize, because I didn't want to get divorced, but I was so miserable and just wanted to die. I just wanted to die. I just wanted to curl up and fucking die. I really want to be honest with that. I really was not happy because I felt that being controlled and told that I'm a terrible human being all the time just really broke my heart. I don't like to be told I'm a terrible human being for just living and breathing. I shouldn't have to worry about that. So anyway, what I did was I got divorced, and I went through a lot of emotions. Sometimes I think it was just like these extra emotions that were, it just felt like, I'm going to be honest with you, I felt like I was losing my mind. I started talking to a therapist, and I would get a lot of insight on what to do. And this is, I felt that my ex was not letting go. He wanted to hold on to the fact that it was cost me almost 10 grand to get divorced in a state where it should have cost me $250, and it should have taken 2 weeks. He's such a shyster. He thought everyone's going to shyster him. And I didn't want to shyster him. I just wanted a motherfucking divorce. So yeah, I'm hopefully taking care of my, I'm hoping at least the middle of this month, because I still have other bills and stuff to take care of since I wasn't working, and I'm just getting caught up. I have my storage fee, so I got to pay that I owe them. I only paid $60 instead of $120, so I owe more this month, and so I'm going to pay it. Yeah. And then I got my insurance. And you hear those advertising for those cheaper insurance? $35 plus the fees for Nevada, plus other fees. By the time you're done and said, you're already paying like more fees than you would your average insurance company. So I just keep my insurance company. It's just easier. Hi, how are you? This is John. I'm glad you're still staying. But yeah, I wasn't experiencing and learning. I think I act, when you have somebody who loves you, they will not want to keep you, how can I say this? They won't want to separate you from friends, family, stuff like that. It was like, I knew when I would go to my dad's house. I would go every so often to visit my dad, especially when my dad started having extra rooms. And I was like, hey, he'd make breakfast for me. We would hang out. I was so happy. And then I realized, I said to my dad, I didn't tell him I wanted a divorce because I didn't bring my father into that, believe it or not, because he was more for it. He knew what I married. I married a troll. When you marry a troll, they don't work. You work. You work and work and work too, Dad. That's just how they roll. I'm taking my, if you're wondering, I'm taking my vitamin D3. I take one a day along with my other vitamins. And yeah, I haven't drank at all. I gave my alcohol to my son. And he doesn't like one of my alcohol things, which is, yes, my whole family warned me. My whole family. I'm talking cousins who he went. Okay, let's just put it this way. I have cousins in California, and he was stationed in San Diego. He went to visit my private family without me, and they told me he went to a corner store, tried to pick up a woman while he was wearing the wedding band I picked out. They told me he's always going to be that way. That's just how he is. He's addicted to sex, and that's how he is. He wouldn't let go of me. I was just so sad. Well, that's why I married. When you marry a sociopath, they don't like to let go. They call it losing, like they're losing something. And you're like, no, it's not losing. It's just, yeah. Okay, so go to sleep, John. You get some sleep. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. I appreciate you very much. And I enjoy that you just stopped in. That was good enough for me. I take the things in my life. All right. Have a good one. Well, if you want me to, I could change my hours, but it's okay. I'll see you hopefully on the weekend. And my boyfriend's pissed at me. Okay. So anyway, I've been meditating, and I will start putting my meditations out on the bottom here. His name's Michael. Most of his videos are actually over a year old, but they get shiza loads of views, and it's really good when you get stressed out. And I'm just so happy that I got a good friend that comes on here. John is a sweetheart. No bad about him. Not wearing it, but my there. So when I wanted to experience anything new, if my ex wasn't involved to the point where it creeped out I had friends used to come over and they go, why is why is your man here? This is a woman's thing. And I look at them and go, yeah. They knew that even friends who I knew in Michigan would go, why doesn't your husband help you with the groceries? Why doesn't he help you with this? And I go, I don't know, but his mom didn't teach him that. He didn't get it from his mom. He got it because when people are sociopaths, they can't keep true to you. They don't feel bad about screwing, they make excuses so they can go and have an affair. Oh no. Oh yeah, it's your fault because they had an affair because you were throwing up in the toilet and too sick to have sex because you were pregnant or whatever. And they were like all pissed off. Yeah, I kid you not. I was pretty much told that, you know, if I looked at him and I said to him, and I remember this, I go, I'm like, I'll talk to your mother. And he went to bed. Oh, he did have his affairs. In fact, the woman threatened me. I had to make a police report. Yes, he did have his affair. She knew our address, our home phone number. I'm like, if it wasn't for the fact that, and let's just be honest, she didn't have a car, even though she lived 4 hours away. She was telling me she was going to drive the 4 hours, and I laughed, being that her daughter says that she was so lazy that even if Paul drove there, even if my ex would have driven there, this is what I was told by her daughter, that her house is a hoarder's paradise. And I said, you know what? I've come to the point. If he wants to go with somebody else over me, I'm like, go for it. I get my freedom. I really wanted my freedom, and it took me a lot to gain it. So when a guy goes, so do you have your ex and you live in the same house and you no, I don't even do mixed signals like that shit. I don't play that way. Then you have a lot of I paid a lot of money. I really did. It wasn't just the lawyer. It was other things I had to pay in order to keep the whatever, to keep everything, kosher. I really did. And it was, so if you're in a life where it's not going, you're living in a town that your soul is not reaching, you just want to die. Maybe it's time for you to change it up. Even though, yes, it's not going to be easy. It was one of the hardest things I ever had to do, was that, because of the fact that it wasn't like he was going, oh yeah, let's go read this over. Let me go to the courthouse. Let me do whatever. Well, I tried to do my paperwork and stuff by myself, and my ex would come up with excuses, and I'm like, dude, just give me my, freedom. You said if you love someone, you will have no problem divorcing them. You will feel bad if you still care for this person. But the unfortunate thing is, I really wasn't loved because he did not want to divorce me at all. And it was going, you know what he said? You won. I didn't win. I didn't win jack or shit. I did not win anything. I got my freedom, but I did not win. Like, he was acting like, you're going to be walking around and saying you won. I don't be walking around saying I got divorced from someone who didn't want to. It took 7 months to do something that would have taken 2 weeks. Okay, I'm bitching now. All right. So when you're in that type of situation where you have that, meditation is really good. It is a plus plus. I'm going to tell you that. And it does help out. you breathe, and I would suggest start buying crystals. Uh, no, it just helps with the vibration. I'm trying to bring myself a higher vibration. I'm happy now that I am I got what I wanted. I really did. And I wanted that a long time ago, to be honest. I did. I wanted it a long time ago because of the fact that I felt my soul wasn't experiencing, learning nothing. You know, I'm like, so you want to go for a run? Oh. And you're like, my dad seen that I didn't even want, and this is what my friend Christine's like, oh, let's go for a ride. So we went over to a ride to a dispensary. And when we got there and we were driving back, he went to grab my hand, and I just, like he said, I winced, and I'm like, yeah, I did. I don't want you to touch me no more. I don't want to be near you. I don't want to have sex with you. I don't want to ever have sex with you. I just was like, I don't want to. You know, I, I've been living with you as a uh, friend for months while you're having an affair next door. And then when I go, hey, you know what? Let's just get divorced. This is we're holding each other back, really. Oh no, 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 no. 7 months later, $800 a month plus filing fees because he would change. You're going to screw me over. No, I got pretty much the screw ship. I had to pay the electric. So in the summertime, being $800, $900 bills, and I had to pay my car note, and oh yeah, it was lovely. It really was. I got screwed real good. And there was no one to go. I didn't have daddy to call. I didn't have no one to call except myself. When it comes to the money part, it's me. Once in a while, I get help from family members. I will get stuff sent to me, and I get a little help once in a while, but it's like out of the blue. Here, I just thought of you. And you're like, oh, okay. Oh, that's pretty good. I can deal with that. I don't depend on it. I depend on me. I know I'm dependable. So I do depend on me. And I'm so grateful when I do have my friends and we're talking and we're getting, it's good conversation. So always have friends. Do not keep I would say if you have close friends and something is really, you're going through some real tough stuff, do let them know that you're going, come on, Bobby. Come on. Come on. Yeah, he's no longer a little kitty. He's my little Bobby. Wiggle that tail, wiggle that tail. So when you're in any type of situation where you feel you're not growing, it's always good to it's always good to have friends to talk to. Even though I pretty much did that myself, divorce, and I didn't want to. I really didn't. When you're stuck and you're thinking you'd rather die than live, then it's time to get divorced. It really is. If you're in a situation, more or less, you know. I was in a situation where my ex would get his loving somewhere else and make a big to do about having sex with him for once a week. So finally, I just quit asking. And guess what? It became less than once a week. I knew something was going on. He wouldn't even grab me. My boyfriend, every so often, if I'm bent over or whatever, he'll like touch my butt. You know, Brandon will touch my butt and stuff. And you're like, oh, would you quit it, Bobby? Sit and be nice. My ex quit doing that years ago. My boyfriend Brandon would come up and come behind me, and he'd just kind of hug, and he'd walk away or touch my butt, and I'd, oh, it's so sweet. I'm like, oh, that's so sweet, right? My kitty. Aw. So anyway, I didn't get that for years and years. So he never picked it up again. I'd walk around with outfits and stuff, and I would try to entice him while he was sitting in the dining room, area nook and doing his computer stuff. And it was like living with, it truly was, I guess John hit it on the head. You're with a roommate now. You no longer have sex. And that's how it was with it. And God damn it, one time it was really hot. Brandon, it's like most of it, yeah, our sex is real hot. And real, oh yeah. So, I was to that point. We could have been, if we would have gotten divorced in 2 weeks, I could have bought this house. I would have sold a lot of, I would have put it together, but it didn't happen that way. So I got stuck with him, and he kind of knew it. I think he really did know the shit was hitting the El Fano. My ex expected me to be this beautiful person, and he thought I was really happy. And I'm like, no, I have a person who times me after 30 years, time me, who said, who you fucking, you gone an extra an hour. And I go, it's Thanksgiving Day, and what are you talking about? Yeah, that's exactly what I'd have to deal with. So, I I could not believe it, you know. Well, we have a half an hour left, and then I am going to get ready pretty well for work and look for my vape. If I can't find my vape, I am going to have to buy another one. Are you going to get over here? Get on my lap. Here, I'll have my magical. So, Annie, God, they had a really neat one where it was decorated with like you know, my burping pen. So when you're in any situation, it doesn't matter if it's romantic or if it's not. It could be a friendship, and you're not going anywhere. You're the one doing the footwork, and the other person is just using you. You're stuck in that situation. What? What? I got my HelloFresh, so I'm going to be cooking some of that. Nummies. I'm just like kind of, oh, what? Oh, you're trying to get, this is my other crystal that I got. Oh, it's so pretty. The ones he shows, they're big. They're like, oh, yeah. I'm going to have to, excuse me. I've got a bad boy here. My bunny kitty. Look at my bunny kitty. My bunny kitty. Look at him. He's a bunny. He's my bunny kitty. So I'm going to end up having to take a small trip to pick up another. And I'm cool with that. I got cash. So today I went to work, and I brought Carl his lab coat. I said, "Oh no, I got a new one. It's nice, 1075." He's like, "Wow." I'm like, "It's yours." Well, I didn't give it to him. He paid me how much it costed. He was very happy with it. I go, "I hope you like this. I hope it's good." Because I remembered it in his size and I picked it out. So when I had the money, I actually did buy it. And it just took 2 weeks to get here. 2 weeks? Was it 2 weeks? It took a while, yeah. Because all of a sudden I got all, there was like, I got my wand that, it takes a bit. I've been looking through my stuff and I have also this. So we'll be doing some art stuff on the weekend. I got to set up stuff and clean it out. I'm having a friend do a reading for me because I don't know what's going on with certain things. I I'm I have no real faith in the medical. I have better faith in the spiritual, and I'm asking someone, hey, I need a little bit of help. I I don't see anything, but I'm I feel different. I don't know if it's from the meditation or what's going on, but I feel different. I quit drinking because I feel that different. Yeah, I feel a lot different. And I'm going to be honest. The only reason why I had periods at all is because I had there's a name for it. I don't have periods all the time. Like out of a 12-month thing, I would have 4 periods and they would be real heavy. And then sometimes I wouldn't get them. And I would tell my dad, look, how am I going to tell, when I do start having intercourse, how am I going to know if I'm pregnant or not? So my dad took me to a, you know, Planned Parenthood clinic because it was cheaper than the doctor at that time. And his insurance took care of it. I went there and I was like covered carte blanche. In fact, my dad goes, here, you need to have this. So when I was 18, it was in April and we were still in school. And that's when I started on birth control pills way before, anything. And it suddenly I'm having periods every month. I was so excited. I haven't been on birth control pills in over 3 years. So I don't have regular periods no more. They're not regulated because the doctor, because of my age, won't. They said, hey, they told me there's no way I could, yeah, what I mean. So I'm like wondering maybe it's, menopausal and stuff. And I'm just, keep the route I'm going or whatever, It was when I the only way I knew the last 2 times is because I was on birth control pills and I quit having a period. And I was still taking the birth control pills, which would usually push you to have a period. And I go, oh, something's happening in my life. So I'm just checking, being hyperactive, but doctors tell me, and even the last time when I had a UTI, you have to listen to your body. If you medicate yourself because you are diabetic, sometimes it's not because it's hereditary, but because you're, 500-600 pounds, you're morbidly obese. And yeah, I hate to pull it out there. That is a really, when you're morbidly obese, the unfortunate, oh, my hair, the unfortunate thing is it causes health problems. I know. I was told this time, you know what they told me? Oh, keep eating this sugar. You're doing something. You're hyperglycemic. Yes, it does show a little, you want to keep your sugar intake. I was told by my doctor it was fine with my sugar intake. It's not affecting my body to working fine. I was told that I had slightly elevated of uh, blood pressure and the bad the how could I say this? Oh shit. Well, that's what I was told. I was in pretty good health. I just slightly elevated. So I quit doing fast food and I'm doing Hello Fresh and I'm cooking that. I still eat the candy because I do need the energy. It just is what it is. I cannot do zero sugar. That doesn't work well. So anyway, if you're in a situation, you have to make battle plans and you can't tell anyone, not even your bestie friend who's going to help you, who hangs out with you and your significant other you're trying to get away from. I have known friends who have lost relationships when they are breaking up. They have lost those relationships with the long-term friends that they had in high school. I've known friends who were crying about it. I said, well, if they're going to throw your relationship away, think about this. What did they say behind your back? Oh. And that's the majority of the time that when I was living with shit. This is what I told my ex when we were dating. If our sex life, if you're going to become a housemate, I don't want to be married to you. Oh, I will never. Don't. No. If that happens, I don't want to be married to you because I could be single and happy and not have someone looking at their watch going, oh, you took an hour longer. Lee, was it a love triangle at all? Because it has all the, Lee, it had, here, let me type here because I'm so excited about being able to talk to my viewers. I got mouse. Okay. I mean, I love Apple products, but the unfortunate thing is, yeah, I would love to have an Apple mouse, but $100 or 200 for an Apple mouse is like, because it's silver and it looks fucking cool, it really does. All right, I'm still thinking it's a triangle love thing that went on where the woman goes, oh, I'll be with my husband. I did a bad thing. And you know what? I think you're crazy. Go off in your crazy world. And they move on and they're going on a second like honeymoon date. I mean, you're in Vegas. Come on. It is a beautiful city. I do love my city, Vegas. I'm going to be honest with you. It is a beautiful city. And the more I bring my higher vibration and try to, just not to look at things and not get so pissed off that certain things take a long time. I need to stand up for myself more. That's my problem. I need to stand up, and I have been. I think that and I love my friend and everything, I do. And I'm not mad at her as talking behind my back. I heard about that and I'm like, wow, that's just odd behavior. She would and I think she's done it before though. It's not odd behavior. She's been doing it. It's just it's catching up. And yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'm still thinking. I thought about that. I think that it was a love triangle in some sense. Something went on where they're not putting it out. That I think what happened was the woman said, you know what? I maybe thought, and this is what I tell people all the time. And it took me a long time to get a divorce. And the first time I was told by my ex is that he would make sure that I would never see my son again. And I would take it that bad. He was not that's not someone who loves you, by the way. That's a housemate who wants to get even with you. And that's when I realized there really wasn't love there. I think it was a lot of lust. And I think that's why it was so easy for my significant other to be a housemate. He was a better housemate. He's a better housemate than a husband. I don't have nothing. There's nothing going on. Oh no, there isn't. And I'm not joking. I paid way too much money to throw that away for what? Oh hell. So just say prayers for me. I've been the only thing I really want to do, and I think I'm going to make an appointment to have to see how my health is doing as of the elevated blood pressure. And I had, well, I can buy a thing for my blood pressure thing to check that out. But what I am looking for is make sure that my good cholesterol was just slightly higher. The only times I've ever had that was twice in my life. And that was Devin and Natasha. I had slightly highly elevated of stuff. So I'm like, oh, no, what's going on? But I am taking care of it where I had HelloFresh. And they're not paying me to do this. So, yeah. I'm still wondering if it's got the whole thing. You got the husband and wife are out enjoying a second honeymoon. How much you want to bet? It was a second honeymoon. But if I'm wrong, tell me, because it has the makings where the guy goes out, he does it in public. It's called and in some cases, love of passion. That's what it is. Love of passion. She's like, well, I've been bad and I'm going to go with, is it that? Or is it just, I'm better than you and I'm going to kick your ass, and there's thousands of millions of dollars on the line and they want to show each other? Because it would be really totally stupid to go and kill two people because you think you're better than anyone and there's no money on the line. There's got to be a whole millions of dollars on the line for someone to go cuckoo for coconuts like that. Come on. Think about it. He's going to kill two people for what? And he doesn't seem to be, the kind of person that's doing drugs. He doesn't look like, when he sat there and smoked a crack pipe and said, hey, let's go down to Vegas and to Bellagio and start shooting up. Come on. There's something going on that made him do that. If there was no love triangle, then what the fuck is he smoking to make him do it? I really want to know. Because that has all the makings. You got two people who are in love. No. You got two people who are renewing their feelings and realizing they want to be together. So that third wheel goes out and gets his pew pew and plays shoot 'em up. And that's not the first time. God. I mean, if you're in ghost hunting or you watch it, what is it? A lot of the houses that are severely haunted have those love triangles where the woman, you hear about it, wrote a song in the 70s. Do, 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 do. Okay, so you have a woman, she picked her husband, and you have a third person. Is that how it went? Or is it just someone's just crazy as fuck and went and shot them because they're YouTubers? It doesn't cold mirth in that, okay? Yeah. Oh. Self-defense, they're walking. I like to know what they did for him to take. How many shots was that? 6? 4? It was more than 2. I think it was 3 shots. How many shots? That was just horrible. So he was mentally unsound. I still think there was a love triangle, but yeah, I could be wrong. So he's mentally unsound. He's going, well, it doesn't hold mirth. Just like the one guy who went up to Mandalay Bay. You're seeing where I'm getting at, like some crazy person said, okay, we want to take your gun rights away. Let's have a episode. Let's do it, Yeah, I know he's in jail, but it doesn't stop the fact for a love triangle to happen. Was there anything besides the fact that he's nuts, I'm just putting it out there, you know? I mean, is he taking the crazy train as he's crazy as fuck, or is he going to go and, you know, that's what I'm wondering. Is he going to go and say, I'm like thinking it just seems a little bit too weird. So he did it in self-defense. Well, I knew somebody that I worked with stabbed somebody 7 times. Now let me explain something about the difference between shooting. Okay, thank you. The difference between shooting somebody, taking, someone and shooting them. You can do it from a far, far away distance. You know that. When you stab someone, it's more and this is how a lot of people who have used guns and have stabbed people who understand or who have held a knife and really let me tell you this, take a knife, and when you have some beef, when you're cutting beef, try to stab beef, to get, that's how hard it is to stab. So if you stab someone 7 times, 7, all right, that's a human being. When you do that, it's personal, all right? It's really personal. And that's why I say the joke, they ran into my knife 7 times. I see 1 or 2. You stab someone, that hurts. It's not going to tickle. It's not going to like a tickle, thing. So if you hear someone stab someone more than once, they really, really meant business. They didn't want them to live. Let's just be honest. You're not no longer surviving, you're killing. And I worked with someone who stabbed somebody 7 times and went under that same, I, I did it under self-defense. Manny, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Lee. You did it under self-defense. That's what this person said, this woman. Mind you, she was almost 2 feet bigger than the person she stabbed. Mind you that. A foot and a half bigger than the person she stabbed. All right. In self defense, she was not only bigger and outweighed him by a good maybe 50, 60 pounds, she was more muscle. So I'm like thinking, I don't think that, I think that if he would have died, that the self defense thing wouldn't have worked. I really don't think it, you know what I mean? And this guy, he went and they had no guns, they had nothing to protect themselves. They're in a and they're out enjoying themselves, so I don't know how he need to go say that he all crazy, man, because that's the only way he's going to make it. He all crazy. mm. uh Well, that's what the thing is. People forget that when you do stuff and you are incarcerated, you can look all that stuff up online. So I started to look up the story and I knew this story. And I'm thinking 7 times. And we're not talking, she just stabbed him. And it's like they were deep stabs. They were not little, like, woo, 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 stab. They were deep. And I'm thinking she was meaning to kill that fucking person. She wasn't doing it to protect herself. When you do 7 stabs, you are now, in my mind, a killer. You're a born killer. You almost killed someone, but didn't quite get the job done. But I'm sure down the road you will. And then that's what it's looking like for me when I worked with that person. Very, very much of a train wreck, so. Oh boy, he probably would have to pay a lot of money to have someone do that in his private residence. So yeah, he's probably having a blast. I think to myself about the people who had to deal with him, and he ruined a lot of people's lives because he was another, I would say he's a narcissist sociopath that doesn't see the truth of everything. Maybe he'll just have a good life in prison because that's where he belongs. He did a lot of bad things. And I think that Hollywood is really scared. I really do. Well, I could say it would be with P Diddy and all that stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm wondering. This is what I'm really wondering. Did P Diddy unalive anybody? Is he involved in that kind of travesty where he would, do something that bad where they're going to find out? They're going to say, hey, we found bodies or we found this. But like anything, if someone has proof, but when you do bad things and they're in the internet and you go, wow, I have had friends who've been in those situations and they never stabbed anyone 7 times. And that's what or shot. So he shot how many times? How many times did he shoot? I'm trying to think. Let me look that up. I'm curious. But it's over an hour right now. said about, because I took my daughter off my phone line, and then I added the why I got all my channels for my movies and stuff. I added some movie channels because I said, God dang, I would love to listen to that. I'm now thinking of adding YouTube because I love to listen to YouTube too. You know, it's pretty good. I put no music on today, so we got the lurker there. I hope it's Branden. I really miss you. I have been very good, very very good, and yeah. Anyway, I'm taking good care of myself and making sure I don't drink anything, and I am going to be getting ready for work. See, my lurker left. Usually when it's Branden though, he'll put a thumbs up. That's the only thing that I get. I get an extra thumbs up. There you go. Thank you, Branden. I really care for you. Okay, I I'm going to. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, 6 o'clock. Sometimes it's a little bit after. Yeah, I got to go and get ready for work. I love you guys. Keep a prayer within your heart along with love. Omega.